every game is going to be a playoff intensity game. The 12 games to go. On top of just making the playoffs, we got to get back and get into a good rhythm.
A good rhythm for the Celtics means a return to aggressive defense.
What a play by Marcus!
And a return to the running game.
Antoine for 2 and a foul!
Tonight, the Celtics will have a running mate in the dangerous Dallas Mavericks, who have won 6 of their last 7.
The Mavs flood out 4-on-2. Nowitzki, finger roll, and the foul.
The electric Mavs and the energized Celtics, 2 of the NBA's most explosive offenses. They'll rev it up right now.
Pierce again to the basket.
Everybody, I'm Mike Gorman, along with Tom Heinsohn. Different look to this team since we saw them last. They have a new head coach. Avery Johnson has taken over, and so far they're 5-1 under Avery Johnson and playing better in almost every category, Tom.
Well, they're still the same old offensive team, but they've added defense, and they're giving up 5 fewer points a ball game, and they're very aggressive with their defense. They're covering for each other, but their offense is still potent, so both ways. And you got Sean Bradley blocking shots, but Dirk Nowitzki is just... he's in the running for MVP of the year. He's got all the stats going for him. This guy can shoot from outside. He can run. He can dribble. He rebounds. He plays some defense now. And what he's doing really well is taking it to the hoop strong.
Only one player in the NBA in the top 10 in both scoring and rebounding, and that is Dirk Nowitzki.
Back here at the Fleet Center, Doc, coming up to play a really tough team in the Dallas Mavericks with Dirk Nowitzki. What's your plans for stopping him?
Well, I don't think there's one way. I mean, he's such a tough guy to cover. I mean, Tommy, he's a 4. He moves like a 2. He's long. He's quicker than any 4 or 5 that can guard him. He's too big for any 2 or 3 that can guard him. And so we're just going to mix the coverages up. We're going to try to throw a lot of things at him. They are a great offensive basketball team. I think under Avery Johnson now they're becoming even a better defensive team, and that's why they've won so much of late. So tough team, dangerous team, obviously. They just left Detroit and won pretty easy, and that tells us that we're going to have to play our best to win this game tonight.
Welcome back inside the Fleet. Should be fun tonight. Paul Pierce and company are ready, so let's check out our Southwest Airlines starting lineups here tonight. Good crowd is on hand at the Fleet Center. Continues to fill in. Gary Payton, Tony Allen will be in the backcourt. Ray LaFrentz, Antoine Walker, and Paul Pierce will be along the front line for head coach Doc Rivers. 2 out of the next 3 at home. He'd like to make a little hay here at the Fleet Center. Down the other end of the floor for the Dallas Mavericks, they have a very good starting 5. Jason Terry and Michael Finley in the backcourt. Sean Bradley, Dirk Nowitzki, and Josh Howard along the front line. Josh Howard, a very good defensive player. He'll be chasing Paul Pierce around most of the night. Avery Johnson, 5-1 in his latest incarnation as the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, and he will be the head coach of the Dallas. Key matchup here, and indeed it is the power forwards in tonight's game. Dirk Nowitzki, look at those numbers again. The only player in the NBA in the top 10 in scoring and rebounding. And there's one of his many moves to the basket.
Boy, you better stop that. You can't have an easy curl over the top, and that's what they're talking about.
Shooter. Well, Tony Allen did a good job running at him. Nowitzki with time, and he buries it.
Boy, he just is such a quick shooter. When that ball is delivered at the shoulders, it never goes below the shoulder line. And what I mean, watch, he'll get the ball right at the shoulders, bang, and right up with it. I mean, you have to be no more than fewer than a foot away in order to bother that shot, and that's impossible to do against a big guy like him.
LaFrentz has got Terry in a switch. Payton tries to get back in it, out to Dirk. Knocks it down. That's a 3.
That's almost a set play. That's we talk about as being a prime MVP candidate because he can do stuff like that. I mean, for a 7-foot-plus guy to be able to be that mobile and shoot from that far out that quickly, and then knock down the threes. I mean, this is what he's been doing for the last several years. Multiple amount of skills.
There are Dirk's numbers.
And here comes Perkins, and he rolls off of that man, and as he's backing up, inadvertently bumps into Nowitzki, who lays some verbiage on him, and Perk just walked away, and Nowitzki continued after him, and Nowitzki is getting to the free throw line.
Again, 2 of the 5 best offenses in the NBA, and they're really having trouble knocking them down tonight. Nowitzki gets that one. Nowitzki with the steal over the top of Walker. Finley comes away with it. Al Jefferson's going to make his first appearance of the game in a moment. Then Antoine fouls Nowitzki, and we'll get a timeout. Mavs are one of the best free throw shooting teams in the league. They're third in the league in percentage, but you wouldn't know it tonight. Nowitzki, no assists.
Now watch what Nowitzki does with this man. Hey, watch Gary Payton now. This is big against small, and Payton's trying to bother him. And then they call a foul after he misses the shot. Between the defender and the ball. And
Walker back there defensively. Dirk wants to do something off the dribble. Antoine call for the foul. Look at it. Numbers for Dirk Nowitzki. He is well on his way to his average, which is 20. In that game against the Celtics, gives it back to Nowitzki. Nowitzki to Stackhouse, and somehow he put it down.
boy,
Harris comes down with it, loops it ahead. Nowitzki, and Payton is called for the foul. That's 2 on Gary Payton.
That's
Free throw line, rather.
That was a great effort. Off he goes, and you got to be alert to that.
LaFrance has got Terry now on a switch. Payton comes back to him. They skip it over to an open Nowitzki.
Yeah, well, Nowitzki's on the weak side, and
Nowitzki comes up firing off the inbounds pass.
This guy's unbelievable.
He's got 24.
And Nowitzki is really in a class by himself at his size, and he's got a feathery touch. Bang. There is the feather. And you want to know something? It just barely makes the net move when it goes through.
Nowitzki. LaFrance has got him. Crossover move, pull-up jumper, bingo.
Now watch on Nowitzki. He gets him going one way, then the other, and then just pulls up. So that's the quickness of Nowitzki. And Van Horn coming off the bench was just sensational.
65% shooting in the second half as Nowitzki buries another one. He's got 30. And the Celtics can't afford any slips. Out to Terry, back to Nowitzki. Turns and shoots, makes it, and is fouled.
What a shot. He was watching the clock the whole time. That was just a masterfully done possession. They kick it back in, and there he just turns around and takes the shot, and they put him on the free throw line too.
Nowitzki, who has set a Dallas record this year for both free throws made and free throws attempted, has another three-point play and has
forced him to come back to get the ball and dribble and try. Work him hard.
LaFrance out there, stabbing at the ball. Nowitzki just pulls up. Wow.
But I don't think there has been one single shot. Watch this by Nowitzki. I mean, now he's got Rafe. Rafe doesn't want to be having to defend Nowitzki as the clock is winding down. And, you know, if you really jam him, he's going to go right around Rafe. Big guys right now that are playing sensational in Van Horn and Nowitzki.
And that's going to do it. 112-100 the score here tonight. Mark Cuban, a happy owner as his basketball team comes in here, and hopefully they can do this again on Friday night when they head down to Philadelphia to take on the Philadelphia 76ers. Final score here from the Fleet Center. Dallas beats the Celtics 112-100.